Hello, glad you're joining us on this episode of the Cable Plus Property Show, your #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed properties. My name is Oiza, and as you already know, this is where you get first-hand information on building construction, documentation, registration, and obtaining planning permits. In this episode, I am joined with me in the studio, someone you would call a two-in-one professional. Yes, two-in-one because he's a town planner and at the same time an estate surveyor. He's no other than town planner and estate surveyor Animashaun Oladimeji Saheed. Come with me. Okay, so our next question is about village excision. Yeah. What does it really mean? We'd like you to explain it in the simplest of terms because of our viewers.
That is the area that I'm sure the viewers and the listeners at home are interested in. Because everybody, they have origin. And that origin is land. And is that land that people tag themselves. What gives them that control, that heredity is the land. So excision, land excision means a land that government has initially acquired. Now releasing it to the owner for them to develop or for them to expand their land. So that is excision. And during the present day trend, you have different excision. We have different excision. Okay. We have the one during 1981, during Jakonde regime, global acquisition throughout the states, mostly affected by Badagry, Bejuleki. Now releasing to people. When government now considers, okay, we are no more in use of this thing, let us give it to them. Are you getting me? That is number one. Then number two, under the executive order of 2009, during the regime of Governor Fashola, there's another excision. That one, government may have, they may not necessarily be among the global acquisition 1981. Government will just wake up, there's need for us to have airport here. There's need for us to have this thing here for overriding public interest. Airports is for what? It's for the public. Schools is for what? It's for the public. Health center is for what? It's for the public. That is why we say overriding public interest. Government now wake up in a day. Where can we cite such a thing? It's better cited in Ekbe. That land is owned by some people. Government will now meet them. This is your land, though. You want to acquire it too, but we are now taking you to another place. Okay. Are you getting me? I just want you to listen to that trend. Now taking those people to another area. Should be the area they are taking them to. It's owned by other people, no? Okay, you people that are here, we are going to do this for you. That's your land that is already in acquisition. We are going to release some to you as excision. That's one aspect. Then another aspect, any family that is interested in having excision on their land, this particular land though, is acquired by the government too. There's nothing we can do with it. Or that acquisition is mainly for government projects. This is too much for government project now. This land too. Let us appeal to government to please give up part of it. They will now write application to government for excision. That application will have to be written to, because it's the lands bureau. Like anything, granting of development permit is the function of Ministry of Physical Plan and Urban Development. When it comes to allocation, acquisition, compensation on land, it's the land bureau that is in charge. So such a family they will now write letter, application letter to Lands Bureau, to the executive director or the permanent secretary lands, stating how they got to that land, the origin, the historical background of that land. They will mention it. This is our forefather when they came from moon. This is where they landed. They were doing fishing, just to convince. Then they will now make survey plan of that area, the size of the land, the hectares or acreage they are requesting. They will submit to government. The government will now process it. Then in that land there's a committee on excision in which I'm a member representing. That committee members were derived from different ministries and MDAs, physical planning, lands, ministers of a general office, Ministry of Justice, and so on and so forth. All of them, the composition of representatives of those things, they are the one that makes the excision committee. Now the excision committee will now go on site inspection to know whether government can actually release that area to the villagers.
So the government has the choice to not release land.
I'm coming.
Okay.
So if they found out that this place we can release, we can give part to them, they will recommend. Now supposing the villagers are requesting for 80 hectares, and at the end of the day government found that they can't release that 80 hectares to them, it's only 30 or 40 they can release to them. They will now convey the message to them that out of your 80 you are requesting for, please, so it's only 40 we can grant you. That 40, initially I told you the application, they are going to support it with a survey.
Yeah.
But this time around, government will now prepare survey for that 40 for them by survey general. In a situation whereby it's a logo area, the application cannot be granted. So that's the end of that application. But in a situation whereby okay, we can still give them something, but not the total area of land they are requesting for. So get that one cleared. That is why they will now get their letter of allocation, everything. Then they will have to prepare layout. That letter they have sent it to
the government
has to be in the letterhead of the family of that the letterhead of that family, signed by the head of the family and the secretary.
So aside the letter and the survey plan, are there other documents that
no, those are the basic something. Then historical background.
Yeah.
So that one has to be there. How they got to that land.
So who grants the excision? Is it the sole responsibility of the governor of the state or the head of the Lands Bureau Department? Who grants that?
It's Mr. Governor. No another person. It's Mr. Governor. But the Lands and the Excision Committee, they are right up, they are back up to convince Mr. Governor.
So to make it easier and very simple for our viewers to understand, we'd like you to take it step by step. That okay, these are the steps to take or the processes to follow if you want to request for excision as a particular people from a village or something.
Okay, the procedure will start from home.
Okay. From
the family. All of them will call themselves together. You are the head of the family. You are the secretary. You are the value. So it's going to be the decision of the family. Once there's agreement on that, they have scaled first order. The next thing is to write application in the letterhead of that family. In most cases, from experience, the family, after the agreement to have to process excision, they engage the service of a lawyer. Right on our behalf, but with the support is because some of these landowners, about 70% of them are not educated. Are you getting me? So even some of them are not aware. You know, information is weapon. Information. Some of them are not even aware that they are entitled to this excision. That is when the professional comes in. Kile Ishebe, you are sleeping. I can forward it for you, process it for you with agreement. But not people in service. So. Okay. Because we are binded. Can't do that one. Because once you are in service, you can't do such a thing.
But consultants can do
that. Of course, consultants can do it. But how many consultants too are aware? So that is why this type of program, I'm sure we did discussion now. Many consultants, wow, so we can do this, we can do that. You will see. So it's an eye-opener. So that letter, we have to be submitted. Then you acknowledge that we have received your application letter, is receiving attention. We will communicate to you later. So the excision committee that is already been formed by government, they have a chairman. And that chairman is the executive secretary in lands. Is that one that we tell the secretary among them in lands to come? We have received applications so for us to meet. They will now meet and decide when to go on site inspection. They may have, it depends on the number of applications. At times it can be 10, 15, 20 from different families. So they will now go on site inspection to verify all the informations given. So based on the experience too, government at the tail end of granting that decision, another people will stand up. It's our land. Run up, are you getting me? So that one too is another wahala that they have to go and resolve themselves. So after the site inspection, charting, everything, now knowing that that particular area can be granted, then they will now write submission, which has to be signed by all the members of the technical committee. Then through the PS lands, they will now send it to Mr. Governor. Then what I told you, the submission of the technical excision committee will be the basis upon whether Mr. Governor is going to approve or reject that application.
Let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back on the show. Don't go away.
Cable Plus Property, the hub of professionals in the built environment and the #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed property. At Cable Plus Property, our aim is to ensure that all Nigerians and non-Nigerians have at the tip of your fingers, free of charge, all information on landed matters. We provide you with all information you need to know about land procurement, land documentation and development, planning permit procurement, building construction, and so on. Join us today for free by subscribing to our YouTube channel, like and follow us on our social media platforms, and check us on our website www.cableplusproperty.com. Together, we shall make our environment better. Spend and build right.
Welcome back. It's still the Cable Plus Property Show, and I'm still joined in the studio with town planner and estate surveyor Animashaun Oladimeji. Now, it's observed that, in parts of the state, the title document that most land speculators use to advertise the sales of their land is Excision under processing. And like you just mentioned, the governor has the sole right to approve excision or not, so he could decide that, okay, no, this excision cannot happen. Now, what is the fate of those who have probably purchased land or developed in areas like that, where excision now is probably still under processing and it's not even sure that the governor would approve it?
Can somebody claim to be a student of a particular higher institution after just submitting or writing JAMB, the JAMB exam. It's a way, it's a step towards. Can somebody that has not yet been given admission letter claim to be a student of that, a bona fide student of that institution? It's the same thing. It's proper 419. I will, yes, I will advise buyers of such plan to wait until their decision is out.
What happens if they've bought it already?
And at the end of the day, I will tell you the reason. You know, I told you based on the experience. Some people, like this money-less, you know, some people, they are very smart. They will tell you, no, this is going to be granted, this and that.
Even when
and it's still yet to be granted. And in some cases, at the end of the day, they will grant it. Are you getting me? People knowing that this excision is under processing and they are likely to be granted. For instance, just let me come out. The Yoruba people will say, Bikuli Okpani, Todi Olepani. That is, if the inside dead can't kill you, the outside of cannot kill you. Among the staff, people that are aware, they are going to grant these people excision. Or Mr. Governor has already granted them. He's here to come out. They just spread the information. You know, these land people, they have informants. For instance, as a staff of Lagos State Government, if I'm processing a excision for my family, there is no way I won't go and meet the head of our family. What the grant can you tell them? In anticipation of that, you know, if they see something has been done, the fee of that land will high. But people will just load them, getting the information that Mr. Governor has already done this. I can easily run to the landowner. Maybe you have started processing your excision now. Yes. Is it? I know. Is it? We are still waiting. By God, I'm sure. Let me risk it. Let me buy out of the land. You know. You say, what's wrong with this man? You want to? Okay, bring money. You know, maybe if you have collected your letter of approval, maybe the land will go for 5 million. But somebody coming to you, you know, I just want to risk it to my this thing. You sell it for me for 1 million. Abi? So that's it. But the bottom line is, people should not buy land that the excision is still under processing. And people that are canvassing, this land is under processing. Let the person wait until the approval is out.
Before you
buy.
Know, like you said, if
there are two different things.
Then,
how many people have the insight experience? Let's be fine with ourselves. It's an insider that will tell you, my grant in you. If we, let's say as a member of the technical committee, but it's not good for you, someone, a civil servant, to default government this thing. But no matter how, if my mother is, if my brother born by the same father, my brother or my sibling, if they are interested, I will, Ogbeni, that land that you say you are interested, Mr. Governor has approved it. Later it's just, I'm telling you, you come out, you see, you just go and meet the landowner, because in fairness, immediately the letter of approval is being issued.
To triple the price.
Of course.
I think that is why people go ahead to purchase the land, because they know that if the excision is granted, the price would likely triple.
It's a game of chance. Either you win or you lose. But I'm sure people that will say it's on both sides. If the offer comes from the landowner, it's a trick to sell their land because they don't know their fate. But if the offer comes from the purchaser, the buyer, he has already information. Let me go. That's it.
Wow. That's a lot of smartness.
Uh-uh.
Now, still talking about excision, how often does the government grant village excision to families?
I must be frank. During the time of Governor Fashola, it was very, very rampant. But during the time of Ambode up to now, excision, the committee, I'm still a member of the committee, but for the past, let's say 6 years, we have not yet had any meeting because there's nothing to deliberate on. In fact, people are applying, but they are not being processed because of certain policy by the government. It's not that the government is trying to deny them. They are just looking for a way of improving the policy. Let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
In most cases, government will grant excision to villagers. Who's supposed to benefit from the villagers, Abi? They will see that they sell it to people. Immediately they have the letter of allocation. It has been granted to you. They just sell everything to developers. Are you getting me? They will sell it to developers that are not the mindset of the government that should benefit from it.
Really?
Yeah, and the fee, from our own layout point of view, the fee people with excision are paying is far lower. Even we just increase it to half of the money the people that they allow the private estate developers that their fee that their land is not excised or excised land. Before it was 15%. When we notice that these people are selling to people now, let's make it 50, and government is losing. So that is the more reason government say, let me sit down, let me look at the modalities by which I will be granted this excision.
But should what the villager decides to do with the land be any cause of concern for the government? As long as, you know, the land has been excised to them, don't they have the prerogative to do whatever it is they want with the land?
There is one thing that I would like to mention here, because the purpose of this program is to enlighten people. Anything excision. You know, I told you, we have master plan that has already designated different land to different uses. But anytime you have excision, it's residential. Even if the charting report, I'm repeating, I'm saying it. If the charting report said it's sport complex, no. Once it's excision, it's residential.
Okay, my final question is not about excision or layout plan, but about Cable Plus property.
Yeah.
Would like to know if you are subscribed to our channel, sir, on YouTube.
I'm your follower.
Oh wow, that's
I'm your
great.
follower, and I have to say with sincerity to this organization, I say a big kudos.
Thank you, sir.
To the organizers.
Exactly.
Because what you are doing, if everybody is doing it, we go a long way. We go a long way. It's an awareness. People are ready to do it right. But nobody to tell them. So this type of organization, you do know what you are doing to the masses. Even some of the things, as an officer of Lagos State, that I'm not aware, your program has enlightened me.
Oh wow.
Just like today, it's going to enlighten other people too.
Yes.
So I'm your follower.
Thank you very much for your time,
Yeah,
sir. It's been a very pleasurable time.
Thank you.
With you. Thank you so
I'm
much.
even happy to be here. To be identified among the people you have interviewed. So,
thank you, sir.
God bless.
I'm sure you've learned all that you need to know about village excision, the processes involved, what you're expected to do when your excision is granted, and every other thing. It's been an insightful session indeed. with town planner and estate surveyor Animashaun Oladimeji. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below, like this video and share with family, friends and colleagues. Also head on to our social media platforms on Facebook, on Instagram, and follow us at Cable Plus Property. My name is Oiza and I'll see you in the next video.